We're here for Inside the Sain Brain, sponsored by good friends at Create A Cig. 4 area locations. You guys can check it out. You might think I've been hitting Create A Cig a little bit too much for what I'm about to say. Brevin Night Court show. We just ran a commercial for that. They were talking about Tobias Harris, right? And I'm telling you, man, there's gonna be a team that's able to, that may be close to the taxpayer threshold, who may be able to get under that, and so they can get that mid-level exception, and maybe sneak in and get a guy like a Tobias Harris. I'm not naming any names, but be on the lookout for that type of stuff to possibly be a thing. He's the butt of everybody's joke right now, but you're gonna see guys like that, especially with the way that the NBA salary cap is set up, as far as teams who really don't have money this summer. Don't be surprised to see a guy like Tobias Harris go to a competing team who has the mid-level exception. So, yeah. That's all I'm going to say on it. But shout out to Create A Cig, of course. 4 area locations where you can get the Sain Asylum pack. It's great stuff. Pick it up if you're a nicotine user. If you're a Delta 8 user, they can get you squared away. My man Chris is the district manager there. You may see him in any location, even if he's not there. Great staff there. Like I said, when the cat's away, the mouse will play is normally what people say. Ain't no mice playing over there at Create A Cig, man. Great staff that'll take care of you, whether you're a experienced smoker or whether you're a novice. They'll take you by the hand, whether you want to get into the nicotine vaping or the Delta 8 experience. They can definitely help you with that. The nicotine packs comes with any wave bar, any Ursa hand kit, any 60 milliliter theory, or a 30 milliliter salt Nick juice. You can get that in the nicotine pack. The Delta 8 pack, that's the one I get all the time. Comes with the pre-roll, comes with a disposable vape, and comes with the pack of edibles as well. I was talking to somebody else about those edibles, man. They're dead serious. Go pick those up at Create A Cig. Get the Sain Asylum pack. Get it. Ask for it by name with the great people at Create A Cig. 4 area locations. Check them out as soon as you can. As soon as you're done watching the show, go up there, grab you some, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Vibing, man. Chilling. Kenny Stubblefield, something I want to talk about today. I don't know what this experience was like for you, but it was a great experience for me. Something I'm not joking when I say this. This experience really, I think, crafted my life to an extent. And sometimes when I just think back to just certain memories as a kid or as an adolescent, like this particular experience always comes back to me. And the experience that I'm talking about is summer camp. Kenny Stubblefield. We talked off the air, and our summer camp experiences were a little different. They probably were a lot the same, but they were different in title. You know what I mean? I was a product of what was at the time. I don't even know if this still exists. I know it did when I was an early adult because I was about to work for one. But there was something through the Memphis Park Commission where they had Memphis Park Commission summer day camps, right?
Right.
And I lived in the Longview Heights area, 38106. And I was a proud student of the Pine Hill Community Center day camp, right?
Yep.
And this thing, I want to say doors open maybe at 7 or 6:30 or something like that. And it ran from early in the morning until I think I remember my parents picking me up around 5:30. So you got this full, long, hot day experience of summer camp, right? And we'd be outside, and you would bring all the kids had, like, they would tell you to get like your little thermos like this, put your water in.
Yeah.
And they had water outside, and this is back when we actually played outside. And we were introduced to all these different games, all these different sports. And they taught us square dancing. Like, it was just it was just a super dope experience, bro. Where you just interact with all these kids, girls, guys, and then like the Memphis Park Commission food truck would come out and feed us. Yeah. Didn't know they were doing the whole pay for food thing where somebody was getting paid. Where the Park Commission was getting this funding to feed kids free summer lunch or whatever. We were eating that food all the time. And it's just I just sit back, I just think of so many memories, friends I had, basketball tournaments and Uno tournaments, and learning how to play card games that I never played before, and learning how to play board games I never played before, and just learning all this cool stuff. And it was just super fun, man. It was just all black kids in the South Memphis community, man. And I just remember and Gangsta Black. You remember, the rapper Gangsta Black?
Whoa.
You remember him?
Yeah.
He was one of the counselors. I remember he was like you're talking about probably a teenager at the time. Might have been 19 or something. He was one of the counselors back then.
Wow.
And I just remember it being a super, super fun experience, man. Like I said, that I think definitely crafted my life. And it's funny because there's this game we used to play. And I remember this game, like I would play this game right now. It was called box hockey. You can look it up online. It's called box hockey. And when I go on Jason Smith's show, I credit myself as being, the Pine Hill Day Camp box hockey champion. Super fun game where you're sitting in like this little thing that looks like a sandbox, and you're supposed to play it with like hockey sticks and like a little rubber ball or whatever, right?
Yeah, man.
But in the hood, those things are not available, or they were stolen. Like so those devices were not available, right? So we would play this game with sticks and bottle caps, and we would look out in the park and we would find just random bottle caps to be because people would drink a soda, throw the bottle cap somewhere, and we would go get a real. It was the better the bottle cap, the more fun it would be, right? So we'd get a good bottle cap and a stick, and we would play this game. We would play it for hours, man. And I just remember just like the simplicity of time back then, and just how dope those summer day camps were. And I remember the flyer that came out to my school as a little kid, and being happy to take it home to my parents. Like, I want to go to this.
Were you?
Yeah, and it was so dope, man. Like it was the greatest thing in the world to me every summer, especially because the camp was broken off into 4, 5, and 6 year olds. Then it was 7, 8, and 9, and then 10, 11, and 12. And I remember like graduating into the 10, 11, and 12 group and being a big dog in camp, you know what I mean? But it was so fun, man. Then it was like, and once you were done with summer camp, that's when you knew you were officially old enough to stay at home by yourself. Like that was like, once you were done with 10, 11, and 12 summer camps, all right, next summer I stay at home by myself, man. And it's one of those things where I know it was a convenience to my parents because I want to say, like I said, it was all day long. Like you could my parents dropped me off in the morning and then pick me up until 5, 6 o'clock. You know what I mean? And like these camps nowadays, man, they're like half a day and they're super inconvenient. It's like, bro, if I got to do half a day, I gotta be off just to take you to camp. And they're like a week long. And man, these camps ran. And we went to the pool every week. We went to the skating rink every week. And when we did the camp for the organization I work for.
Right. Same with me.
I kind of mimicked some of the stuff we did in those summer day camps.
Absolutely.
I wanted those kids to get those same type of experiences of the stuff we did. And we just went to all these dope field trips all the time. Places don't even exist in Memphis anymore, man. And it was like Adventure River,
dog, Mayfield,
Funplex. You remember Funplex, bro?
Did you ever go to Mayfield?
That name sounds super familiar.
The lake where you could go and just swim. Oh, bro.
No. See, you went to a different camp than me, kid. You went for camps that were sponsored by the Lord Jesus Christ himself.
I went to camps where we actually had the hockey sticks and the balls.
Yeah, exactly. Y'all played the real deal, Joy. Yeah, y'all locked y'all stuff up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we had chains around it.
No, actually, y'all probably didn't have to. Y'all probably had y'all stuff sitting on a nice little shelf somewhere, and everybody knew to take things back where they went.
Be nice.
But yeah, man, that was a super fun experience for me, man. And I just wanted to share that. Shout out to all the parents who are looking for something for their kids to do, because it's just a totally different experience now. And then, man, it's like people are so sick and so weird. A regular background check don't work. I doubt very seriously they did background checks on anybody back then, man. I'm not saying nothing happened back then, but we just live in such a different time, man. You don't even trust your kids with strangers anymore, especially when you're talking about teenagers, basically. That are because I remember it was people that were pretty young. So like there was people that were maybe 18, 19.
Yeah.
Probably younger than that, because people were doing it as a summer job to work there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, these kids probably actually kids. And I probably thought they were grown. They probably were children. But
something happened, and I want to know when it happened, but something happened. The city of Memphis stopped doing those things for a while, right? I wonder, because I know they kind of turned over those kind of summer camps to like more of the nonprofit crews that that run in the city. Like
YMCA has jumped into it now.
The YMCA, I know the company that I used to work with took over some of the community centers, right?
Yeah.
And then
we did our camp with you guys. Yeah.
We kind of collaborated together and did our camps together. Those things are always, man, like there's just something about having a place for kids just to go and just be around each other, be kids, man. It was so
fun, bro.
Simplicity to it, but there's also like really good. It's a really good thing for kids, man. So yeah.
It wasn't like no Boy Scout stuff, learning to tie a rope and going out and fishing and all that. It was just like, bro, we just did hood stuff, bro. And it was freaking super fun. Like,
did you ever do Pinewood Derby?
Is that the mud derby thing?
No, it's where you you carve out you take a block of wood and you carve it into
we were doing hood stuff. We never got to that part.
Carve out and turn it into a car, and you had to weight it properly, and you would race the cars. You didn't.
Oh, you talking about the no. I know what you're talking about, but no, we didn't do that. Maybe straight hood stuff. I did learn how to eat. And I was kind of a snobbish kid at the time. I was poor as hell, but I still had kind of rich taste when it came down.
You had bougie taste with the you had as our boy Lionel Hollins used to say, a wine taste with a beer budget.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't even think I had a root beer budget probably.
Root beer budget.
But I just remember eating like crap sandwiches and lunch with other kids that was in. Like, who are these poor kids up here? That was broke just like they ass was. You know what I mean?
Like,
just didn't know I was living in poverty. But I just remember stuff like we would get like a delicacy in camp was the super donut was a delicacy for sure. You would get the oatmeal cookie and you'd take the cheese off of your sandwich. And we would make like these weird trays, right? Like, man, give me a slice of cheese for a mustard. Like, give me your cheese for an extra mustard, right? And like we'd take the cheese and put it on top of the oatmeal cookie, and it was like a delicacy, bro. And I just remember like the little frozen juice bar things.
Yeah,
man, I'm getting emotional thinking about it, bro. Like,
what does Gabe do? What does Gabe do in 2024?
Man,
like,
Gabe is playing a PlayStation right now. Like he's at his mom's house because Stephanie lives with her parents, so he's there playing. But he's going to football camp. And that's what really made me think about it because, like, I think my parents might have paid $50 or something, like a whole summer of camp, right? Like, we're paying like $300 some for Gabe for a week of football camp at CBHS. So, yeah, man,
our kids grow up a little bit different. Our kids grew up a little bit different than the way we did,
right? And you remember Sabrina, my oldest daughter, who's 22 now,
right?
She was at the camp we had when we were doing,
Yeah, I remember Sabrina.
I think that probably just exposing her to like different kids, you know what I mean? Because the kids we worked with in the inner city were different than the kids she went to school with. I think it was good for her, even as a little girl, to be around, just different kids like that, man, for sure.
It was those times, especially for us, that we got to really know our kids well, right?
Like, in the summertime, especially the older kids that we worked with during the year. They had to be counselors for camp. Like that was
You would bring in those kids, those more like we used to call them faithful kids, but like the more faithful kids, the high schoolers you bring in our Timothy.
Our Timothy's,
you bring them in and let them and that was dope because like you would see like leadership tendencies coming out in them.
And they was like, Mr. Sain, I see why you said this now, or
they're yelling at the kids like,
you see why, you see it now, right? But and that helped them, man, especially the ones that we were able to put some money in their pocket for sure. But man, I'm over getting emotional, man. Just say, man, I wish just take me back to a simple time, man.
A simpler time, man.
We would sit out in like dangerously hot ass sun, man, for 8 hours, bro.
You ain't lying.
I can't do that shit for 30 seconds.
No, I'm out. Yeah, man, I was at a soccer field. I was at a soccer field this weekend for about an hour, and I was like, man, I'm melting, bro. Get me out of here. What are we doing?
Yeah, for sure.